everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about how yesterday's What If episode, what if Doctor Strange didn't lose his hands, he lost his heart, that episode 4 of What If, may have gave us a clue into Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I'm going to just start off top by talking about this. I don't get this whole conspiracy thing out there. After yesterday, I'm looking online, I'm looking on Twitter, I'm looking all over the place, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all over the place, and I constantly keep seeing people pushing this idea that that's not Doctor Strange in the trailer. That's not Doctor Strange. What? He's too chill and relaxed, and why would he be willing to do a spell like that? He should be serious and worried, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's just Doctor Strange. I'm like, there's nothing odd about, like, everyone keeps saying odd, but the reason they keep saying odd is they're like, well, the last time we saw him, he was all serious. The last time you saw him, aliens were invading Earth, directly coming for him and the Time Stone, so that a mad purple dude named Thanos, awesome character, Josh Brolin, was going to erase half of existence. Why would he still be tense when he's just having a conversation with Peter? A character who he met before, he knows, he's fought side by side with. He even makes a joke about it. But for some weird reason, everyone's so hooked on this. Like, I am convinced that the WandaVision Mephisto thing has given the MCU fandom PTSD. And they're seeing ghosts now. They're hearing shells falling around them. They're hearing people walking through they're hearing shit. They're seeing shit. There is nothing odd about Doctor Strange in the trailer. Except maybe, and like someone was like, why would he be willing to, screw with the fabric of time for something as petty as, Peter Parker going to go to jail for murder? For something as petty as his life being completely destroyed, and the fact that he might go to prison for life for murder and something might happen to his friends and family? That's just such a petty thing for Doctor Strange to be involved in. What in the hell is going on right now? Fandom has lost their minds. The WandaVision thing has completely fucked them up when they were so convinced that Mephisto was behind this, when Mephisto was involved in it. They were so convinced, and when it turned out not to be true, it has just fucked with their brains. But I digress. Nothing's fucking wrong with Doctor Strange. That's just Doctor Strange. He's chill. He's having a good time. He's hanging out with Wong, whatever the fuck they're doing in there with that snow, with the ice and snow all over the place. And I just wanted to preference that because I know there's some people who are saying, ooh, is this Doctor Strange? Is evil Doctor Strange that Doctor Strange? That's why his hands don't fit. That's why his hands aren't fitchy. That's why he's that's why he's so odd. I'm like, yes. At the end of this What If episode, this Doctor Strange calls the end of his reality, saw the death of his girl, and he has centuries of beings of animal-like super creatures inside of him who he can barely contain to keep himself looking normal, and yet, yeah, he's just chilling here with Wong. Just how the fuck would he have gotten out of that little bubble? Why the fuck, the Ancient One, why the hell would the Watcher even let him out after he just literally told him, I'm not gonna fucking interfere because you're gonna threaten our reality? And how is he just chilling? No, like nothing now. He just figured it out all of a sudden. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why people are so fucking nuts that they're seeing shit where there is nothing there. They're fucking nuts. But I digress. I do think that the What If episode did include something that will be used in Spider-Man No Way Home, and maybe even in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I will admit to you guys, this idea wasn't my original thought. It actually came from Comics Explained Rob. If you guys ever seen Comic Books Explained, he's got a great voice and he's really good at that. Honestly, whenever there's something I really want to look at, I'm debating looking at, I kind of go to him and just look at him. And maybe we might disagree on taste, but like he'll give me an explanation of it and I'll be like, okay, that's cool. And Rob, of course, he's a huge comic book fan, so he talks about this stuff too. And he mentioned it that he thinks that this whole... So, just to put in short, Rob, and I agree with him, thinks that the universe, that the thing that's being used in Doctor Strange, maybe Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, but it's probably being used in No Way Home, is the fact that the Ancient One had two timelines going simultaneously in the same universe. She split Doctor Strange's timeline at the moment he had to make that choice. She split it in half and he made a different choice. And I'm thinking, and like some people are, and you saw the results of that. The world was falling apart, the world was melting, everything was going crazy. And I'm thinking that that's what's going to be happening in this movie, is that while Doctor Strange is trying to perform his spell, Peter's going to do something. Maybe, I don't think we've seen all that scene, by the way. I think they're framing it like Peter with nonstop talking is what completely caused it to break out. But I think there's actually more to that scene we just haven't seen yet. But I do think that one way or another, Doctor Strange is going to accidentally split Peter's timeline. Like, he's going to accidentally split Peter's timeline all over the place. And what's going to happen is Peter's going to have to go around, and they're going to have to go around to these different parallel timelines that he's accidentally created. And they're going to have to consolidate them back into the one timeline. So by the end of the movie, all the stuff we see is going to be gone. I'm pretty sure that, the whole by the end of the movie, hopefully, at least I'm hoping, because I heard freaking John Campea and some other people talking about Sony's going to take him back. And I was like, no! Sony, you stay the fuck away! You stay away! You do not take Peter Parker to go in those terrible Venom movies. I don't want to do this, man. Please, Sony, stay away. But if it doesn't, Sony doesn't plan on yanking him, the movie's probably going to wrap up with him consolidating. So what they're probably going to do, because I'm already hearing rumors that these versions of Doc Ock and these versions, they're not actually the movie versions. They're they're like alternate villains from alternate realities, but them being played by the villains that we know from the other movies is more of a shout out to us and not in the movies. I don't know that for sure, but that's the rumor, is that they're not actually Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2. It's not actually Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1. It's not actually Electro from... And the evidence to that is the fact that Jamie Foxx's Electro is not going to look anything like him. The evidence to that is by the end of by the end of Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock was a good guy, and he was cool. And and as I said, Jamie Foxx's Electro looks totally different, and they've already been confirmed he's going to look completely different in the movie. So the only way that would make sense is if these villains aren't actually those villains. So what's going to happen is we might get Toby, we might get Andrew, and they might be but they're not going to be the actual Toby from Spider-Man. They're not going to be the actual Andrew from Amazing. They're just going to be alternate versions of Tom Holland Spider-Man. And by the end of the movie, he has to consolidate himself with them and everything back into one being, and to stop from what would happen and I think that's the shout out, is in the What If episode. That's what could happen in Spider-Man No Way Home if he doesn't bring himself back together and fix, if he doesn't bring himself back together. And I think that is what's going to happen. And I do think that they did give you a kind of idea that that's what's going to happen. Is that Doctor Strange is going to accidentally divide Spider-Man into multiple, he's going to accidentally break up Spider-Man's timeline. There's going to be multiple Spider-Man going in one timeline at the same time, which is going to corrupt the timeline and threaten to destroy the universe, just like in the What If episode. And so Peter's going to have to go around, and he's going to have to go around and somehow figure out a way to work. So he's going to have to figure out a way to consolidate himself. But I'm actually starting to think that it's not going to be what we think it is. Because now it does feel like, the way even when I'm talking about it and thinking about it, it does feel like what they're going to do is that the fact that they're bringing these actors back to play these characters isn't the actual thing. The thing is a different thing. Like, I'm starting to get the feeling that Tobey Maguire and Andrew, like I said, they're not going to actually be from their movies. They're going to just be splintered. It's going to be like they look like that, but they're actually just splinters of Peter Parker Prime. Tom Holland will be technically in the MCU in this canon, the original Peter Parker, and these other Peter Parkers will be spawning off of him, because it just makes it easier that way, doesn't it? It just makes it easier that way. You're not burdened by anything, that happened in those movies. And like I said, the fact that Alfred Molina's Doc Ock still is evil, that doesn't make any sense, and he died. The fact that Green Goblin died, you know, that wouldn't make any sense either. The fact that Jamie Foxx's Electro is gonna have a completely different look, that doesn't make any sense. So the only way any of that can make sense is that these actors aren't actually coming back to play those exact characters. They're coming back to play these characters, but they're not playing the exact same character from their movies. They're playing different versions of them. It's gonna be kind of so that's what I'm thinking is happening here, that they're coming back to play different versions of them, and that Doctor Strange accidentally pulled what the Ancient One did on purpose in the What If episode 4, Doctor Strange did by accident. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Copycat Move Show. Please like, subscribe, and what do you think about my theory? Do you think that is true? Do you think that the What If episode maybe gave us a clue to what went so wrong in Doctor Strange's spell in Spider-Man No Way Home? Thank you guys for joining the Copycat Move Show again. I'll see you in the next one.